Stones will not burn, but I guess the ground will burn. And so my ally's still making extremely slow progress, and by slow progress I mean he's not making progress. So I buy a submachine gun infantry squad, and I buy a tank, and I send them over to the right. And I'm like, this had better work. And ironically enough, this game is on no refund or no payback. If you have watched my earlier video, the one I made just before this one, entitled No Payback is a Bitch, you would understand I do not like no payback. But in a 2v2 like this, it's not awful. It still does get kind of bullshit, but really the reason no payback is fine in this is because we're playing British and American, and basically the only super tanks that can come into play are the T-29 and the Turtle, and to a lesser degree the Pershing. The T-29, the American super tank that did not see combat until the Korean War, so I don't really see why it's in the game. And the Turtle, I'm pretty sure does not exist in any real sense, but in any case it's a British tank that's in the game. And the Pershing apparently did see combat every once in a while. I think it actually fought a King Tiger at one point. There's some Pershing versus King Tiger matchup that happened in history, but not a very common tank. And that was more of a Korean War thing also. You know what was announced? Theater of War, Korean War. I'm not sure, that's probably not the name, but Theater of War is a strategy game. It's kind of a, I think it's a WeGo strategy game, a simultaneous turn-based strategy game. I don't know, it's published by the same people as Men of War. That's something to look into if you really like World War II strategy games. I think it's more hardcore and it's got some problems, but so he sent assault infantry against me this time. His assault failed because I had way more defenders this time, and my mortar got that sighted in, and it got them sighted in faster, and they were slower, so they, in fact, assault infantry actually might have been worse for him in that instance because his rangers were actually able to sprint towards me rather quickly, but assault infantry not so much. So in any case, they died, and I'm taking advantage of that to steal their body armor. And so that M3 Lee is an abomination unto mankind. It's got a million... I will talk about the M3 Lee in my next video. That is a promise to you. But in any case, it's a light tank, and my Sherman easily destroys it, shoots right through and kills it. Actually, that might have been my ally killing it. I think I remember being somewhat sad that my Sherman did not get the kill, seeing as I sent it all the way over there to help. But that's okay. It's providing fire support. And is going to start mowing down some infantry. Here we go. A ranger dies, and that guy on the top has a pretty sweet Browning 30 cal machine gun, or Browning 50 cal, I don't know. It's a Browning something caliber. It's a gun, and it shoots bullets to men, and sometimes it kills them, so that's good. Apparently he's got another mortar there somehow, so I'm counter-mortaring and getting all my other guys the heck out of dodge, because I know stuff is going down. And that is bad. I'm actually planning on losing my mortar, is what I think is probably going to end up happening. But also T-29 kills my Sherman, but I do not realize this for a while. But if you see in the upper left those death messages. In any case, I don't know what his mortar was doing. I think it retargeted to try and shoot some of my infantry, but I managed to move up on it with two submachine gun guys. So see, always be aggressive. This is what I'm talking about. Like, I know I chewed my opponent out in the very beginning for moving his whatever his light vehicle was in without scouting or anything, but no, being aggressive is fantastic, and he just screwed it up at one point. I ran the heck in, just shot his mortar. People took his mortar, and now I'm like mortar and stuff. Like, look, I'm behind enemy lines. I tried to abscond with the mortar. I tried to run off with it, but that didn't quite work. So I'm like, you know what? I am making a stand, and I'm in direct control, which is incredibly fun if you've ever tried it, using a mortar for close combat and direct control. And I am just owning up these assault infantry. Those guys are expensive. They are not gonna earn their points cost back at this point, because this is just one dude. But he just killed an entire squad, and I'm like, holy crap, that was amazing. And I'm trying to decide what to do with him next, because I'm like, whoa, well, he's not getting out there with a mortar. One guy can't even move the mortar on his own. But, you know, if I put him in the mortar, he might be vulnerable if someone walks up. So I sort of, right now he's just freestanding in the sandbags, waiting for more people to show up or something. Plus, I'm moving forward. Always move forward. See, I'm just grabbing random submachine gun infantry who I have sitting around in bushes or something. And so this is happening again. I get back into mortar, start lobbing some shells. Unfortunately, they are out of my purview, but they take a little while to figure out what they're trying to do, and I think I managed to kill one of them. In any case, what a thorn in my opponent's side I was, and in fact it just like gives me an opportunity to know where all his infantry is now, and it's just always be aggressive and try and seize those sort of moments. You're never going to make awesome stuff like that happen if you're just sitting around. And I realize my mortar is not firing because it's out of ammo, so I briefly check whether it's cheaper to buy an ammo truck or a new mortar. Turns out a new mortar is about twice as expensive. It's like 17 points versus 9 points. So that's almost exactly twice as expensive. Math! and so I buy an ammo truck instead. He drives past for some reason, and I'm afraid he's going to run over my mortar, because they do that sometimes, but this time he just backs into it. So kaboom, 100 new shells. I said 99 in one of my earlier videos. Someone pointed out it was 100, but it had fired one by the time I checked. So bada bang, brand new mortar, and I move my ammo truck far, far away, because you do not want an ammo truck near anything you want to live. Ammo trucks explode with the fire of 1,000 suns. 1,000 suns made out of munitions, so really not 1,000 suns. You know what also happened in Anzio? A fucking bear carried ammo for the Polish regiment, like 22nd ammo carrying division or something. First of all, I did not know Poland had like a whole regiment devoted to like carrying other people's ammo, but apparently, that's my allies flamethrower right there. Apparently their whole job is to like restock artillery, and they had a fucking bear. Look up Anzio on Wikipedia and look for like, and just Control F, look for bear, and you'll find a link to the Wikipedia page. Bear is like famous. Lived in Britain for a while. What an amazing bear. Prince Charles or someone met the bear. One of those British princes. One of the British princes. Oh, I was supposed to speak in a British accent this entire time because I'm playing as a British. It's too late. What am I going to do? I can't speak in a British accent the entire time because it's already been most of the entire time. Speaking of having been almost the entire time, we have 700 points versus the opponent's 1,000 points. This is largely due to my allies' inability to take the middle, or more importantly the right, despite my having sent a Sherman, which bravely died against the T-29. T-29 is still killing people. My opponent, or my ally, is named Sin Masupra, and I can't remember what my opponents are named. We'll see in a moment. But yeah, so I've held the left. My ally, not some. Oh, Mr. Frodo BR is one of our opponents. Okay, and ally not getting the right so much, and our joint efforts to take the middle have amounted to little more than a joint. Just a joint. You know, a hinge between two things. Or like a rolled up thing of marijuana. I don't know. Whatever joint you enjoy, it is clearly of little practical use. And on the plus side, awesome mortar stuff. Yeah, mortar combat. And I actually didn't realize how dire the situation was. Like, they only need 100 points to win. They need like 85 now, and you know, points are ticking down. So really, we need to take a point right now, or we're sunk. But I wasn't quite thinking straight. Normally, I watch the timer on the upper right, because often the game ends like whoever has the most points when the time is up. But for whatever reason, I wasn't paying attention to the points, and I guess often the time runs out because I like to set the timer down from 40 minutes to 30 minutes. You can watch this fight sort of with flamethrowers and walls and people peeking around. Sort of some interesting infantry combat. Infantry combat in this game, not so bad. There's a few glitchy things. Like I said before, the buildings are kind of ridiculous. It's tough to get those working, and every once in a while someone runs or you don't want them to run. But I think overall, the level of detail and fidelity totally makes up for any little glitches. I mean, like, everybody's got an individual inventory and every bullet and stuff like that, so burn, baby, burn. So yeah, like I said, they're about to win 30 points, and I didn't realize the dire situation, but even if I had, I'm not sure if I could have won. Actually, come to think of it, this game could have gone a lot different, because it's no payback, which means I have a fuck ton of points just sitting around not doing anything. I probably could have bought, like, a bunch of ridiculous shit and sent it over to the middle, maybe held on for it for a little while, tipped the scales. But, you know, hindsight is 20/20. Which is what your optometrist doesn't want you to know, because then you just use hindsight instead of getting glasses from him. Optometrists. What a ripoff. What a giant ripoff.